Hi, this is Duane, and I'd like to share about 7 quick ideas for adding flavor to most any song at all. Since it's Christmas time, I was just playing "Oh Christmas Tree," and one thing I was doing to add flavor was, instead of using a straight voicing of a primary chord such as the C chord, I used a stacked fourth voicing. In other words, instead of playing C, E, G, what I did is I started on the third, which is E, and then played the sixth, which is A, and then the D, which is the ninth, or the second, as you wish. And all I did is hit the low note, that low C down there, and then chorded that. And then when it was time to go to the next chord, I just moved my hand up, like my hand's stiff, like it's frozen, and it just moved up one, like that. Watch. So you can get a lot of mileage out of songs by changing the voicing slightly, by voicing in fourths. That's one way to do it. Another thing you can do is, say you were playing and you have a little fill. Well, you could use a blues fill out of the blues run, something like this. And all that is just the blues scale in the key of F, since I was playing in the key of F. And the blues scale is use the flat third, the flat fifth, and the flat seventh. So I started on C, went to C flat, and then B flat, A flat, F. Put my third finger over to E flat, C, slid off. That's another thing you can do, is slide off notes. Slid off B flat to B, and then back, or C flat, back to B flat, A flat, F. And you can go down as long as you want. Watch. Okay, just a little cool or groovy little blues riff is all it is. Another thing you can do on smoother songs is, you can use it on any rhythm. Actually, you can do straddles. A straddle is where you take a 3-note chord and you leave out the middle note. Okay, instead of playing C, E, G, for example, with the C chord, you just play C and G. You're straddling E, in other words. Like E's the white line of a road, and you're straddling it, one leg on one side and one leg on the other. And then you go up to the next inversion up or the next inversion down, and you straddle there. Okay, and then you do the same thing in the next inversion. Now, it gives it kind of an open sound, doesn't it? Now, you can really get some nice sounds if you do that to 4 notes. Like, here's a C major 7th chord. Now take 2 and straddle 1, and then play the other 2 and straddle 1. Let me give you an example. See that? Like, for example. Another thing you can do is do a half-step slide. Instead of going right from like G7 to C like I did, you can use a half-step slide. What's a half-step above C? If you know your target chord is C, you can go a half-step above C, which is D flat, and play that before you slide down to a C. And again, I'm using a voicing in fourths, like so. Another thing I just did is I did a little rapid fire riff up the keyboard. Just take any chord, such as, let's take a C6 chord, and just play it from the bottom up, and then tuck your thumb under and play it in the next octave, and the next octave, and so on. If you come down, you can get a kind of a waterfall effect. Listen. So on the way up, and on the way down. On the way down, what you can do is play a leader. In other words, your left hand can outline the chords like that. So that's another thing you can do. You can always redefine the melody. For example, on Silent Night, say, if you're playing Silent Night, the chord is C, but G is not, C is not the only chord that G fits into, is it? It fits in the E flat chord, it fits in the E minor chord, it fits in the A minor 7th chord. So just redefine the chord. Ask yourself into what other chord will this note fit. So Silent Night, instead of, could sound like this. Like I'm playing E minor 7th, A minor 7th, E minor 7th, A minor 7th, D minor 7th, G 7th, and instead of C there, I can go to E minor. Just ask yourself into what other chord this melody note will fit. By the way, you can rhythmize any song and just change the rhythm a little bit and give it a freshness that it may not have. For example, joy to the Lord is come. What if you go like this? That little thing was, but I got to the F chord, I went to the Amen, the 4 to the 1. Obviously I don't have time to explain these, but I'm just giving you some ideas of what you can do. So let's do that again. I'm playing a little slower. Just by changing the rhythm a little bit, maybe playing 2 notes instead of 1 note, instead of joy to the world, I went joy. Just a little rhythm, and that adds interest to your playing. Well, I could go on and on. There's hundreds of these things, but you get the idea. So hopefully that'll pique your interest just a little bit, and if you want to follow up on any of those, just go down and click on any of those titles that sound interesting, and you'll get the full story on them. So thanks. Bye.